Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This video is not going to be like any other videos I've posted, and to be totally honest, I hate talking about this topic so much because I feel like we have been talking and saying the same things for the last 4 years, and granted, I've been an influencer for almost 5 years, and there were plenty of other influencers that have been talking about this before I came to the scene. But the fact that we've been having conversations about DEI for the longest and opportunity and affirmative action, all these things have really come to the rise since 2020. I'm really tired of talking about it. I'm really tired of hearing it. But I do think that I do need to talk about this topic in terms of the creator economy because I think we're going to see a lot of long-term effects much sooner than you guys think. So if you are new here, my name is Me Queen. Like I said, I've been an influencer for almost 5 years now and really have been studying the creator industry and sharing my knowledge of it here on YouTube. And today I want to bring your attention to the fact that DEI has been removed, or a lot of DEI initiatives have been rolled back, and major corporations like Target and Walmart specifically, I believe also Amazon, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there have been a ton of brands that have come out in the last few weeks that have said we're no longer going to be focusing on these DEI initiatives. And first, I want to start this video by talking about how it works for specifically Black brands or for like diversity-based brands to be in a retail store. So a long time ago, if you've been watching my vlogs, my weekly vlogs that I post every Sunday, I will talk about different topics about different things. And one of the most interesting topics to me this past summer was about starting a brand, like starting a business, what it means to be in a business, what it means to be a Black business in this economy, and how to navigate that, especially as an influencer. Because if you've known big influencers that start their own brands, they navigate it in different ways. And then there isn't like a rule book, or there isn't like someone to come to you and be like, this is how you do it, this is how you shouldn't do it, right? So I spent a lot of time this summer really looking into it and trying to understand what that meant for me. And over the summer, I did go to an event that was hosted by an Asian-owned brand, but I did talk to her a lot about like what it takes for her to run her business. And I'm going to insert a clip from that vlog. I ended up not even posting this clip in the vlog because I thought that people weren't going to care about Black businesses and like my take on it and my interpretation of it. But in this clip, I explain what it takes for Black brands to not only get into retailers, but to also stay into retailers. And at the time that I made this, it was really difficult for Black brands to uphold their contracts or their positions in these major retailers because of some of the things that go on behind the scenes with the business that most consumers generally don't know about. And because I'm someone who really believes that you need to know how things work to know how to change it, I'm going to insert this clip for you guys to watch it and just understand like all the inner workings of what it takes to be a Black owned business and a retailer. All right, we're back home. I got my salad, y'all. I had to run out of there. It was so hot. So it was a really interesting event. Now that I am a business owner, like, you know, being an influencer, I'm really interested in business, but not just business, but how different businesses and business plans work. Especially like figuring out like what businesses are profitable versus which ones aren't. So like restaurants are generally like not a great profitable business where you can have a lot of overhead costs and also you can lose a lot of money pretty quickly. Whereas something like influencing is super lucrative. It costs you like almost $0 to start up. Like you need to be an influencer, you really need an iPhone and you need a tripod with a ring light and some few ideas. That's really all you need. Like if people tell you need something else, like they're lying. You really don't need other things to get started. You just need to be creative and like put out good quality content, which you can literally do from your iPhone. So that's not crazy. However, her business is like more medical based, I would say. So it's like different treatment methods where you have to have insurance, right? You have to have a physical location. You have to have the equipment. You have to pay for techs. Like you have to have people running your business. Whereas like I'm doing most of the stuff that y'all see, you know? So it just makes me wonder like how this business is profitable. And it's also really interesting. Also, this salad has like nothing in it. Like it's barely even lettuce, girl. Like don't buy a salad from Rouse. Anywho, there's also a really interesting conversation going on social media talking about how like Black owned businesses that were put into major retailers are now being taken off the shelves in major retailers. And a lot of this started because of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement back in 2020, where like retailers like Target, Walmart, Ulta, Sephora, they were all like, we're gonna make, 10% of our businesses be Black owned businesses. And like the purpose at least was to like, encourage and promote and support Black owned or PLC owned businesses. And what we're seeing now is that a lot of those businesses are being pulled off the shelves because they simply can't afford to be on the shelves. Like, they aren't getting the like support long term. It was just like initial support. So if you don't know how it works, right, essentially what happens is, if you are a brand and you want to be, let's say, in Target, like you're a hair care brand, you sell some hair care products, and you are now on the Target shelves, you have to pay Target to have your product on the shelf. You have to pay for the shipping, you have to pay for the product itself, right? Let's say those products go on the shelves on January 1st, and even if it sells out, right, you don't get paid until March 31st. So you made this huge investment, let's say like you spent $30,000 putting these products on the shelves in Targets, and then you don't get paid until March 31st, right? So that's 3 months of you not having cash, or that you're not like making your money back right away, right? But also, when a brand has a contract with a major retailer, they have quotas to reach. So it could be something like you have to sell one product per week per store. And that's like pretty average. But what that means is, if you have a shampoo, conditioner, a hair oil, and let's say some gel, right? You need to sell one shampoo, one conditioner, one gel, and one hair oil in each store every single week. So it's not just in one Target. If you're in 30 different Targets, you need to sell 4 products in each of those Targets every single week. So a lot of brands aren't necessarily selling that much product every week. Like, you have to hit that quota regardless. But then let's say all your products sell out. So you get on the shelves January 1st, or you sell out in Target, you know, on January 31st, right? That, like, Target wants to keep your product on the shelves because they want to keep people coming into stores and keep buying your product. So even though you don't get paid March 31st, Target's gonna be like, hey girl, we need double the amount of product because people love this stuff, but we need to keep it on the shelves. And one thing about running a business is that the longer you are sold out, the less money you make, right? Because people want your product, but we live in such a fast-paced industry and a fast-paced world. If you're sold out for a long period of time, people are actually going to forget about you. So Target's going to push you to be like, hey, we need double the amount of product. So you already spent $30,000 up front. Now you got to spend $60,000, and you still don't get paid from the first batch of products until March 31st. You know, so even if businesses, Black-owned businesses, are doing well on the shelves, they don't have the capital to keep putting out all this money and not be able to be paid, you know, months after the fact. And there's a lot of issues with how this is run, but essentially it really promotes and encourages non-Black owned businesses to stay on the shelves because they generally have capital and like that upfront investment, you know, like they have the money to be able to do it. Whereas a lot of Black owned businesses are self-funded. So you can fund your business by being self-funded. You can get investors, like angel investors, but that's essentially a loan where you got to pay them back, or they have like an equity or some sort, like you got to pay them something for their investment. And then if you do like a loan through a bank, you still got to pay that back, right, with interest. And then people sometimes will get like family and friends invested. You may be familiar with like Black people typically have significantly less wealth than other races. So it's like a lot of people self-fund their own businesses. So there's just like an ongoing issue that a lot of people are talking about right now on social media. So I just think like the whole business aspect is so interesting, especially since I don't have a background in business. Like, I am an engineer. I didn't get an MBA. I didn't get any type of like formal schooling in any of this. So whenever I go to these events, like I try to ask questions to understand like how the business works, but also to understand like, am I doing my job? Like, how does me going on the internet promoting different products and stuff like actually like help for the business? And essentially what it comes down to is sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. And especially with Black owned businesses, like, I mean, it's not a secret, influencers get paid a lot of money to promote products, right? So when a Black owned business will come to you, a lot of times they don't have the budget of what you are typically paid as an influencer with a large platform. So you either take a much lower deal, like significantly lower deal, or you just don't work with Black owned brands. It's a toss up. It's really crazy how everything works, but yeah, I'm sorry if you weren't interested in that. I'm just really passionate about business these days. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this half salad. I bought it like this, like it was literally almost no lettuce in it. I'm gonna eat this salad. I'm gonna chill in the house. I don't got anything else to do today. I even kept the shade down. It's hot out here, okay? I'm not gonna go outside the house. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna watch some TV. And tomorrow I do have plans, so we're still gonna do other things. But that is all for today's Saturday. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way and really understand what it takes for Black owned brands to even get into retailers and to have that contract and to have, like, you know, the money and to be something that consumers can actually consume, right, at a much higher rate than either just their online site or just, you know, their pop-up shop. I think the creator economy is going to be majorly affected by the rollbacks of these DEI programs, and for a bunch of reasons. Now, first I want to say this video is not to be a landing page for people's complaints. If you've been following my vlogs or my channel at all, you know I'm not a person who makes excuses or someone who coddles people because of, their feelings are hurt or yada, yada, yada. This is life. Things happen, right? Especially when you own a business, there's no way for you to predict what is going to happen, how your business is going to change, how different administrations or how different policies are going to change how you run your business. Stuff like this happens in business and in life every single day. So if you are someone who wants to be a creator and you are Black, or you are a part of what will be like included in the DEI initiatives, this isn't your signal to stop. This is actually your signal to keep going, because what a lot of consumers don't realize is that in this day and age, in 2025, a lot of the marketing that you see today is based on social media. Like, a lot of it is social media marketing, a lot of it is online marketing, because people just aren't watching TV like they used to. Back when, TV was popular and everyone had cable and, 300 channels or whatever, you would see a ton of commercials doing every single TV program. Nowadays, I can't even tell you the last time I watched cable TV. I have no idea. So a lot of the marketing, a lot of the commercials, a lot of the new products that you see, you typically see it on social media. And even if you aren't someone who is active on social media every day, you probably found out about a product from a friend who found out about it through social media, who, followed this influencer girl, or who saw it, on their TikTok shop or whatever. Like, it is so prevalent. Social media marketing is so prevalent in today's society that I really don't see content creation going anywhere. However, with the rollback of DEI initiatives and with this current landscape of how people are reacting, and not just reacting, but responding to the administration and to things going on in the news, I mean, this generation, Gen Z specifically, is so much more involved politically and willing to take a stand than any other generation before. And we've seen this so many times. Like, there's so many times throughout the last 4 years that I have seen Gen Z, I'm kind of Gen Z / millennial, but that I've seen people from Gen Z band together and start something that's actually worthwhile. And I can rattle off so many. I mean, when TikTok didn't even have captions, and the hearing community was like, we can't use this app because there aren't any captions. And then people started to manually write captions on the videos. I was one of those people that was writing captions on the videos to make it more accessible to people who didn't have hearing or who had hearing issues. And then what do you know? TikTok now has a captions feature. And then because it was adopted on TikTok, now all the other social media platforms are also adopting caption features. And it's something that is so regularly used on social media that started from Gen Z being like, oh, this is really messed up that people who are, have hearing issues can't actually interact with our content. When the first time, or I guess a few years ago in 2020, when Trump had a rally and Gen Z was like, we're all gonna sign up for this rally to be on his email list, and totally screwed up all of his data so that when he actually did have the rally, almost no one showed up because everyone was just like a fake name or a member of the Democratic political party or just any other political party. And they were like, we just want to screw up his data so that he doesn't have anyone at his rally. On top of that, just recently, ICE put out a phone number for people to contact to report different people that were, in the United States. And it became a trend on TikTok for people to call ICE and report Elon Musk to ICE for them to come pick him up. I mean, things like that, Gen Z very clearly and obviously takes a stand for certain things. And although these major corporations obviously have control over a lot of things in our country, I do think that the rollback of DEI initiatives at these major brands is definitely taking a stand with people. And the other point that I want to get to is that a lot of the social media culture, like a lot of the pop culture, all the things that you see that are trending on social media come from Black people, from Black creators, from Black creatives. And it isn't until, some random white person picks it up that becomes like a mainstream thing. And that can be so many trends, but a lot of Black people are the people that are responsible for these trends. And my main point of what I want to get to is that if these major companies are now all of a sudden rolling back all these DEI initiatives that support Black people and Black businesses, and not just Black people, but just the disability community, the LGBT community, I mean, so many different communities, if Black people aren't doing them on social media, if they aren't talking about it, if they aren't posting about it, if they aren't doing it, then there isn't going to be a trend for white people to jump on and all of a sudden start doing all across social media to make it something that is trendy and popular and, sell out in stores across the country. a lot of these trends come from Black creatives, and because a lot of Black creators are so fed up with the lack of DEI support and also just the lack of overall support with different major companies, I see the landscape of major companies really changing in the future. Another great example is with Starbucks. When TikTok band together and was like, okay, we're not going to go to Starbucks anymore, the younger society today is really taking action into their own hands and doing something about the things that they are passionate about, and people are putting their money where their mouth is. And I'm not saying that this is going to be something that everyone's going to pick up to all of a sudden. I do know that people that are still going to Starbucks. However, overall, the Starbucks stock has dropped since October of 2023. That goes without saying. Like, it's very, very obvious. A lot of the DEI initiatives in stores, as in carrying Black-owned brands or having a certain percentage of these different brands that are popping up in major retailers, those have been targeted towards like Black-owned brands. However, a lot of the positions, like the jobs, all of the services have really been given to a lot of white women. So I don't think that all of a sudden white people are going to be like, oh my God, we have to care about Black people, because it hasn't affected them up until this point. However, if there are no trends for them to take and then make into their own, then I think there's less of a likelihood of those companies still profiting for as long as they are. I mean, yes, they're making billions and billions of dollars, but the best way for your mouth to be heard or for your viewpoints to be heard is by hurting people's pockets. And I think the component that a lot of people are missing, or that a lot of specifically Black creators want when they get into this creator industries, that they want to work with brands. And I personally have seen within my own social circles of creators, and also with creators online that I don't personally know, but I come across their content, is that they are no longer working with brands that are doing these campaigns. DEI or not, they're like, I'm not going to, work with this brand, because as a creator, it looks really bad on you to all of a sudden be working with a brand who just dropped all their DEI initiatives. So if you are someone who is a creator and you're like, oh, is this a time for me to start creating? First of all, it's always a time for you to start creating. So don't even think like, oh, this is a bad time, blah, blah, blah. Start. Okay, you're just coming up with excuses, and those excuses are lame. Even if you are a consumer and you're looking at like, where should I put my dollars, where should I put my money? You should put it towards people that you're already supporting. Like, there are so many ways for you to support different initiatives with your money as is. I mean, the simplest thing would be to stop supporting the brands that are the major companies that have rolled back their DEI initiatives and instead support the brands that are actually upholding their DEI initiatives. But the thing that makes me so upset about this entire conversation is that there will still be people that will support these major companies, that will support major brands, and they will hopefully have some type of, lashback at some stage. But at the same time, the majority of people, at least from what I see, and again, social media can definitely be an echo chamber. From what I see, the people that have, values that align with mine are no longer shopping with those brands or with those companies any longer. So I'm making this video to say that even if you are a new creator, this isn't a time for you to like give up, throw in the towel, or start to complain or whatever. Because for one thing, so many people, and I mean creators and just long time like marketers, just people who have been on this earth longer than I have. So many people said, this is just a trend. This whole DEI initiative thing is a trend. And unfortunately, they were right. And it wasn't like this was something that is so out of the blue, because honestly, as a creator, I have seen a huge, and I mean drastic, decrease in campaigns that are targeted towards specific groups of people, like different diversity initiatives. There has been a a huge decline since 2020, where all of a sudden there's like no more campaigns, and they're no longer putting money towards Black creators, and no longer putting money towards, Hispanic creators, or, whatever it is. I've seen that throughout the last 4 years. But what I'm saying right now is that just because you are a Hispanic creator or a Black creator or someone who's a part of this DEI, or you would have been covered under the DEI initiatives, doesn't mean that you should just all of a sudden stop being a creator. If anything, I see the creator economy shifting towards brands that are smaller, that are more community based, and that focus on their audience the most with their dollars. So a great example of this is Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's has been popping off with their content on social media and also within their business, because people are like, I align with their values. I align with what they are saying, what they are putting out on social media. So I'm going to go and buy only Ben & Jerry's. And I've been looking at Ben & Jerry's page myself. As someone who actually goes to Target, like if you watch my vlogs, you see me go to Target at least 2 to 3 times in a single vlog. And guess what? Those Target runs, they're going to stop, because there's no reason reason for me to be shopping from a company that very obviously doesn't support my people, that very obviously doesn't actually care about DEI and, you know, being inclusive, and then promoting it online and social media for everyone to go buy it and purchase whatever it is I just made. So I do see other influencers following that same trend and also trying to influence their audience to no longer buy from, you know, these major companies that are dropping their initiatives. But at the same time, I also see other companies that are upholding their current initiatives and taking a stand for what it is that they have been doing this entire time. And those are the companies that I'm supporting, that I'm working with, that I'm going to keep, you know, promoting online and talking about. But I'm making this video to really talk to people that are both consumers, of knowing that your consumer dollars matter and where they go to matter. And even if you aren't someone that's a part of Gen Z, even if you haven't been a part of what has the movements that have been going on social media, you know, all up until this point, it is not too late for you to start. It also, if you're a creator, it's not too late for you to start creating content. So many creators focus on getting brand deals. They're like, oh, well, I guess I can't get any brand deals because all the brands don't care about, you know, Black creators anymore. Regardless of whether or not they care about Black creators, you can still create content. You can still monetize your content. You can still start your own brands. It doesn't have to be, you know, a t-shirt or clothing line like everyone says that you have to do. The clothing line doesn't really matter, but starting your own brand or starting, you know, your own community, your close-knit people that follow you and also engage with your content and want to be a part of whatever it is that you are doing. I need people, and specifically Black creators, to stop thinking about, oh, I have to work with brands all the time, or I can only work with brands to really make money from content and from online social media personal branding. That's not the only way for you to monetize your channel and monetize, you know, your social media platforms. If you get anything from this video and from the political stance, I would say, of these major brands that are supposedly doing this for business, which, by the way, the fact that they're removing DEI initiatives is actually a really poor business decision, because Black people are responsible for trillions of dollars in discretionary spending. I don't mean like your everyday, you know, I need eggs, milk, and, you know, cotton balls and some soap. No, I mean extra money that you spend on the things that you don't actually need. Yeah, Black people are responsible for trillions of dollars in it. But the creators that don't focus on just brand deals and instead focus on how they can use their resources that they do still have, how they can become better at their craft, how they can actually get involved in their community, those are the creators that are going to have long withstanding careers in this industry, because it takes so much tenacity for you to be and have a long-term career in content creation, period. So if you're someone that's like, oh, well, now, you know, the creator economy is going to suck because all these people like don't want to support Black creators anymore. No, that's not true at all. Content creation is not going anywhere. Marketing is not going anywhere. Product development is not going anywhere. The internet is not going anywhere. TikTok may, but that's not even this video. I got another video on that. But my point is, it is still time for you to create. Leave your excuses at the door, because putting in the comment section does absolutely nothing for you or me. Clearly does nothing for these DEI initiatives either. So we're done with that. You actually need to get to work and do what it is you need to do, because even though these DEI initiatives have been removed, Forbes has still projected that the creator economy is going to increase to $480 trillion. That's not just brand deal money, babes. It's not. It's everything money. So if you're someone who has no idea how to monetize your content or how to start or what you want to do in content creation and how you want to be a part of the creator economy, I actually just started a community here on YouTube for you to be able to join and see all of my exclusive content on what it takes and the secrets that'll get you far in this creator industry. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are still going to create content, are still going to support your favorite brands, whether that be in another retailer or online or on their social media or whatever it may be. I still hope you are still supporting these people. I hope you are still going to support the brands you love in the communities that you are a part of. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.